lively coming out. They be wondering what we talking about.
Salute, 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 salute. Bow. What it is, salute from Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Boxing After Dark, what's happening? Yo, real quick topic, and I'm gonna get out y'all way. Um, and I'm gonna piggyback off of another YouTuber, my homeboy, my partner, Real Talk Boxing. Proper salute to you. Look, I watched a video a couple of days ago, and he was talking about Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul, and he saw Tyron Woodley doing some shadow boxing, and he seen him going to a shoulder roll. You know what I'm saying? He went into the Floyd Money Mayweather, Pretty Boy Floyd, the shoulder roll, the crab style, the Philly shell, the Detroit, Michigan, or the Michigan defense style. You know what I'm saying? He said to Tyron Woodley, don't do that Floyd Money Mayweather shoulder roll Philly shell style. It's going to get you knocked out against Jake Paul. And Nocturnal Thoughts, I have to respectfully agree. I agree. I remember when Nate Robinson was getting prepared to fight Jake Paul. He was doing some mitt work, some pad work, running some combinations. And just in his nature, he went into a little bit of a shoulder roll. And the first thing his trainer said to him was, throw that shit in the trash can. Why isn't the Philly shell, the Floyd Money Mayweather shoulder roll, the Michigan defense style, the crab technique, that defensive technique, why isn't that a good idea for a guy like Nate Robinson or a guy like Tyron Woodley, a person that's picking up boxing late and hasn't been boxing, since he was a knee-high whippersnapper? Why isn't that a good technique? We all know that Floyd Money Mayweather never got knocked down. His hand slightly touched His glove slightly touched the canvas against Zab Judah, but with that defensive style, he was a defensive wizard. He was almost untouchable. You know, he got rocked by Shane Mosley, but other than that, who could really ever land a clean punch on Money Mayweather and hurt him? It worked for defense. It worked for Floyd Money Mayweather. Real Talk Boxing. He said, you know, one of his favorite fighters it worked for, who mastered the Philly shell technique, was James Lights Out Tony. Now, a lot of historians would tell you that the foundation of the Philly shell, the crab style, the Michigan defense style, the foundation was laid down by this guy right here. His name was Tommy Ryan, and he developed like a crouching style defense. Me, myself, personally, you know, when I looked into the history books of it, the first name that came to my mind was Archie Moore. You know, I love Archie Moore's story because, you know, he was a hard-nosed, I mean, blue collar. I seen documentaries on him where he would be poor and be traveling, catching trains, like, you know, with a backpack, jumping on trains, going to one place to another place with the clothes on his back and food that he made for himself to go eat. And it became a champion, fought guys like Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali when he got a little older. But Archie Moore was another guy that fought in that, you know what I'm saying, bobbing and weaving, shoulder roll, crab style defense. We also think of Eddie Futch and training Smoking Joe Frazier to fight Muhammad Ali in that same similar, you know what I'm saying, crab style, Philly shell style. And then, of course, you think of James Lights Out Tony. But ultimately, most people think about Floyd Money Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? With that defensive style. Why wouldn't it work for Tyron Woodley, who's fought in UFC, takes kicks, punches, hard punches, you know what I'm saying, kicks to the legs and all kind of stuff. Why wouldn't that work for him against Jake Paul or Nate Robinson or amateur fighters that haven't been using that type of a defense? Why doesn't that Philly shell work? In my opinion, I feel like if it's not in your DNA, if it's not in your blood, in your bones, and you haven't been doing that style, that defensive style, and taught by the best from the time you was a young kid, I just feel like your body will never be naturally knowing when to transition from the defense and the offense, knowing when to go into the shell and knowing how to come out of the shell properly. And I feel like what it is, another guy that used it unsuccessfully was Adrian Broner. Another guy that uses it now, and he's not that great at it either, is Teofimo Lopez. Devin Haney kind of goes into that style. I feel like if it's not in you from the time you're very, very young and taught to you properly, and your body is not conditioned to it, it's like a generic version of something that's authentic, and it looks similar, but the quality's not there. So when it starts to take wear and tear, it breaks down a lot quicker. It doesn't hold up. It's not durable because it's not quality. And the thing is, if your body's not conditioned, like a Tyron Woodley, if your body's not conditioned to have, that defensive style, and someone hits you on your shoulder, hits you on your tricep, hits you on your elbow, you start breaking down a whole lot faster, taking that punishment in places you're not used to getting hit. You know what I'm saying? You're getting hit on the top of the head because your body and your anatomy of your body really hasn't developed a complete shell, and it's not a hard shell. It's a soft shell. It's a half shell. It's a half-ass shell, and you go into that style and you starting to make yourself vulnerable to get hit and exposed by punches that you would have been able to see and take better if you would have had just a basic, practical, standard, you know what I'm saying, boxing, traditional boxing defensive style. Because at least you're putting down the foundation. But the Philly shell is not something that you can just skip over the basics and go into it because it looks, you know what I'm saying, because it looks cool. It looks Floyd Mayweather. It looks James, or not James Buster Douglas, but it looks like James Toney. It looks like Archie Moore. It looks like Joe Frazier. You look like you're doing the same thing, but you are not. You missing elements. You missing different factors and conditioning to your body that going to get exposed because you don't have the foundation. And I agree with Real Talk Boxing. If Tyron Woodley goes into this fight with Jake Paul and he throws in that shoulder roll defense, most likely he's going to get hurt bad, and knocked out, just like Nate Robinson, just like Ben Askren. Nocturnal Thoughts. Salute, salute, salute. Bow. I'm gone. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Peace.
Sleepy going in, lively coming out. They be wondering what we talking about.